I have an honest question.
Of course.
In his later years, how much input do you think Stan Lee and his estate had on the management of the films?
I'm gonna say close to zero. I think it's as bad as that sounds to say though. I don't think he had much. I think it was more like, hey Stan, we wrote this in the movie. Do you think this is okay? He's like, yeah, sure, that's okay though. I don't think they really had him there for the entirety of this stuff though. I think it was like who was the guy in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Was it Guillermo del Toro, something like that though? Who was the
It
guy?
was
The
Sam Raimi.
same. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sam Raimi though. Where it sounds like, okay, cool. We're gonna have Sam Raimi's gonna be a part of it, and we're gonna have like one or two scenes that make you go, oh yeah, that's a perfect Sam Raimi. That's kind of the same thing. I feel like what your question was with Stan Lee though, where they had him there, maybe just sitting in the room, and then every now and then he might jump in and go, hey, well maybe we should do this instead. Like, okay, cool, Sam. Sam, we'll go with this then. But by and large, I don't. I think they had their product and then every now and then maybe they ask his opinion for something. I think
Maybe. It
could be.
just seemed pretty, what a coincidence that he died in 2018 and then the movies
All
suddenly all started
sucked.
sucking.
Oh, that's a great point though. I
Just
don't know. I gotta look that up
like, did
though. That's
everybody
interesting.
have a healthy respect for Stan Lee's creations and Jack Kirby's, you know,
I don't.
IPs? And then once Stan Lee died, it was just like, yeah, well, they're just movies now.
Wow. That's kind of shitty. But yeah, I think that's what did it. That's Stan Lee
It
dying because
just
I'm thinking, yeah,
it feels odd.
he died like I believe right before Endgame came out, and then after Endgame, all the movies have been bad. I the Spider-Man one, the No Way Home, that was cool because we had Tobey Maguire, we had Andrew Garfield. It's nice seeing the Spider-Man all together again. But I guess that's like a rare occurrence in Marvel where a movie was an absolute dog shit at that point because they were all
Mm.
bad. And I've seen all of them and I've watched all the shows. There aren't a lot of winners. There's little moments here and there that make you go, "Hey, wow, this looks really cool." But then the rest of it is just slathered in shit and it's depressing. But I think you might be right on the money with it. Stan Lee dying, they didn't have the father figure staring over their shoulders and saying, "Hey, this wouldn't happen." Falcon would not just say, "You got to do better." He would actually do a little bit more than just say that. But now you're right. He's gone, so the training wheels are completely gone, and the kids are off on their own. So now they're just throwing parties and burning the house down.
I don't know. I'm now that you said he probably didn't have very much input. I don't know if he was looking over their shoulder,
I
but
think
I could see the respect just kind of leaching out of it. Like, the father of these characters is dead,
I think I'm
and
wrong.
now it's okay to
Yeah.
destroy them.
I think my last speech was 100% wrong, and you're right about it, though. I think he did probably have, maybe if not direct influence, they were right in this stuff almost to impress him in a way,
Maybe,
and to
yeah,
do
that
right
makes a
by
lot
him.
of
Yeah,
sense.
that's probably the better way of putting it, though. That they were trying to make these things good because they knew if it wasn't good, he would step in. Maybe he had some kind of power with it, or maybe they just respected his presence or something. But yeah, now that he's gone, Kevin Feige can't do anything right. How is that
I
possible?
do find, yeah, because that regime, it's like, did he just inherit products that were already good? I'm convinced that these people at the top, they don't know what makes a good Marvel movie. They have no idea why people liked them. They just know that they made money, and so keep making them, and these dumbasses will keep consuming them.
I
And for some of them, that's true. I feel like people are really slow to keep up with the fact that the quality of these movies is on the decline. They really want to defend them because they love Marvel, and it's like, this isn't because the old movies were bad and you just didn't know it. It's that the stuff going forward is being made with less love than the movies before.
wow, I remember when people were saying that Iron Man 3 was the worst Marvel movie ever made. And now it's like we're desperate for an Iron Man 3 or something like that though where it didn't live up to the esteemed expectations, but it wasn't as bad as these other movies. I mean like from a timeline standpoint or just like a logic standpoint, none of these movies make any sense. With Black Widow, that this guy was in charge of everything and had his hands in all these political parties that he wasn't running the world. Like, that didn't make any sense at all. This guy was in charge of anything. Then you had the Eternals with this group of people that were in charge, that did everything in society. And then all the shows, like, they're all nonsense at this point though. And you have a bunch of hack writers and directors that are trying to make their vision of it, but they're not remotely talking to the other movie directors and saying, "Hey, we're gonna put this in this movie. It's gonna completely destroy everything you said in the previous movie." Like with Spider-Man No Way Home, with that Mauler video where it showed, okay, Doctor Strange says we know nothing about the multiverse. Yeah, they knew everything about the multiverse. You're able to use your sling ring to get to the multiverse. You don't need to have a super spell. The Ancient One knew about it. It was common knowledge that these things existed. But now multiverse now, nobody has a clue of what it is, and it's whatever you want it to be. Like,
And it is just a product of selfishness that
yeah,
if anybody cared about the products that were coming out, they would just collaborate. But instead, it's all about me and my vision. And this one is going to be my stamp on the Marvel Universe. Everybody's going to talk about how this was me and mine, and I'm going to have, my name written on this forever. And it's like, the whole thing would be so much better if this sense of personal glory would just die.
and
Why can't it be esteem in your work? Just love your work and want to do best by the people who are the judges of that work, which is the audience. It has nothing to do with you.